There's my blue one, and there's my green one. Where's my pink one at?
You erased my artwork.
I thought I had brown. No, that was a sharp. So I guess I'll go green. I'll go green for land. Blue, so I got green, blue. Red for city names, how about that? Or black for city names.
Red.
Blue for rivers. Green for land, blue for...
What?
What's red in?
Oh, the city names.
No, that's black.
No, that's so lame.
Huh?
That's so lame.
Red?
Yeah.
Oh crap. We're doing the, I'm gonna do the math. I wanna do the math.
Do the math, what?
If I can't read it because I don't have my glasses on.
Here you go. Just kidding. Germs.
Okay. Are you ready? Okay, hit play.
Play.
Okay, so this is the explanation of the map of China that is going to help you with all the empires throughout the entire history of China. It's just a way that's going to help you organize your thoughts with what happens in China. So the first thing is, let's draw out China. Of course, this will be an exact 100% to scale format. So we got Korea, then we have like the peninsula out of China, then we have this right here, and then it comes out here, and then down to here. So we're gonna go with to show you some other areas. We're gonna go with Japan is gonna be right here. You got Japan out here, so you got Korea here, and then that'll put like Taiwan out here, and then Vietnam is actually a little bit further south. Did I scale it right? And then you got Tibet right here. So we got our major, like, you could call them countries, it depends on what time of history. But then there's the tribes. So the tribal areas is right up here. You got Manchuria. You got Mongolia. And then this is the way to help you remember it, is that the Uyghurs are very west because they control trade routes, and Uyghurs will convert to Islam, and so it makes sense with the trade routes because Islam's coming along with trade routes. So therefore we're going to put it right here. Now, just to give you a hint, here's Afghanistan. Just to give you some context, because that's in the news right now. So Tibet should be out here first. We'll put Tibet right here. And then some other tribes that are out here that you're going to read about is the Xiongnu. So we have all that out. So these are tribal areas because they're way out in the middle of nowhere in the steppe region of a lot of hills and grass, and they all ride horses. It's called the steppes, and they ride steppe ponies. So that's all this area. But Tibet is a little bit more organized. Vietnam is definitely more organized. Taiwan isn't really populated yet, but Japan is organized. Now it's feudal, but it's organized, and then you got Korea. Okay. So the way to approach this is go with 4 rivers. The first river is going to come out like this. So here's your first river, and it cuts into this sea where you have a peninsula here, and you got Korea here, and you Japan here. So this is a pretty important sea zone. And we are just going to put the city Beijing. I just call it the Beijing River because the name of the river changes names depending on where it's at in China. I'm just going to call it the Beijing River. So you're right, Beijing's about right here. So Beijing is not in our history that often. Matter of fact, it's not even really in your textbook yet, because what we're really dealing with is Shenzhou. So Shenzhou is a huge capital city, but it's inland. So we're going to put Shenzhou here. Now, it's going to be connected with the river, and this is your Yangtze River. Or else it's the Huanghe, whichever one, and I'm going to have to edit that probably. So you're coming out here. And then, so that would be, I cannot remember which one it is. think it's the Yangtze River. Okay, so what's cool about this is there's another famous capital city, and that is Kaifeng, right along that river. So you got Changzhou and Kaifeng. These are imperial cities. And then you're going to have the big river here. So you got Huanghe and Yangtze. So you got here, and this one's going to end out in Shanghai. And then if you go inland, you're going to have Wuhan, and that's been in the news because of the coronavirus and stuff. So at least it's giving you some relative locations to understand where things are at. And then the big one down south, where most of the trade's coming in historically, is Guangzhou. So we're going to come up here. Whoops, wrong. Guangzhou, probably Guangzhou, and Macau. That was in your reading the other. Oh, what? You're supposed to correct me on that. Guangzhou and Macau. And then later on, when the British get there, out here is going to be where Hong Kong is. It's not there at the time of our history book in the early years, but later on. And Hong Kong is an island at the mouth of this river, which I think you're starting to see why the British put Hong Kong there. So as you see, we got 4 rivers. 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be a trade culture. This is a capital culture, of course, trade and capital culture here. And then huge trade zone right here. And the trick here, when you start noticing it, this is why when Mongolia is close, this is why the Mongolians are going to put capitals near this area. It's why Beijing is a capital at times, and of course is today. But hopefully you're starting to realize this is pretty far north. Historically, imperial capitals are right here. So this starts to set up a dividing line. This is your dividing line of north, north-south, your north-south division line. So a lot of times your book will say, and then they fled the north to southern China. This is, relatively speaking, right where that's at. And one reason why is because the Xiongnu or Jurchen, there's also the Jurchen, I forgot about them. So the Jurchen, also known as the Jin, are going to control this area a lot of times. So China has a difficult time preventing mainly these tribal nomadic entities from raiding. If you remember, all these guys on horseback can raid any time. So you can't defend everything all the time, and they're coming for your wealth. And so there are times they control this whole area, and then like the Song. So the biggest thing, especially for your summative essay, is really the Song dynasty, and this is the Song right here. Now, one reason why is you have the Grand Canal, which was built by the Sui way back. It was built like in 600. So you have this Grand Canal, and hopefully you're just now starting to realize that you've connected South China with North China, because this is the less populated and harder to control area. This is the densely populated, easy to control area. So the Grand Canal connects this, and it helps with population migrating north. But also, because of Vietnam, you have fast ripening rice. So the fast ripening rice comes up from Vietnam. You can harvest it, you have 2 seasons in one season. And as it comes up, you can cross it up here, and now you can migrate up here, and you can support a growing population in the north. Okay, so just a quick review. You have state areas such as Korea, Japan, Hong Kong, Vietnam, and Tibet. And then you have nomadic societies, Manchurian, Mongolian, Jurchen, Xiongnu, and Uyghurs out here. That's it. Stop. I guess I can edit it.
Okay.